welcome to my channel Modern Modis. In today's video I'm channeling my inner 90s girl and I'm showing you how I made this matching set inspired by the movie Clueless. If you want to see how I made this matching set, keep watching. Oh, and by the way, I made this jacket to be more loose fitting, not so much structured like a blazer would be, more stiff like this. But if you want yours to be more stiff here like a blazer, add interfacing to the entire lining. Okay, let's get started. So here's the fabric cuts I made. I used the pattern I made tracing my jean jacket for this project. That video is coming very soon. So here are the two fronts and the two front linings. And the back neck lining. Line the shoulders of the two fronts with the back, right sides facing, and sew. To attach the sleeves, fold the sleeve in half to find the center and align with the shoulder seam. Pin the sleeve to the armhole, right sides facing. Sew and then repeat with the other sleeve. I sewed with a straight stitch and then finished the raw edges with a zigzag stitch, followed by a straight stitch down the center of the zigzag stitch. Sew the two collar fabrics together, right sides facing, leaving the bottom open. Snip the corners off to reduce bulk in the seams. You may also shear along the sides and the top to reduce bulk in the seam as well. Turn the collar right side out. I use scissors to gently push out the corners. Top stitch along the collar, leaving the bottom undone. If you like a stiffer, more formed collar, add interface into the collar when sewing the two together. To attach the collar to the jacket, find the center of the neckline and mark, and then find the center of the collar as well. Line up the center points and pin the collar to the neckline of the jacket. Sew the collar in place. Here are the pieces for the lining. I only cut a piece of interfacing for the back neck lining, but you can add interfacing to the entire lining for a more structured collar and lapels. To attach the interfacing, sew the interfacing to the back neck lining along the outer curved edge. Then turn the lining right side out and top stitch along the outer edge. Hem the outer edge of the front linings with a double fold hem. Line up the back and 2 front neck linings at the shoulders, right sides facing, and sew. Now pin the lining to the neckline of the jacket, lining up the shoulder seams. Sew along the neckline first, and then down the 2 inner edges of the jacket. Don't sew the inner edges all the way down. Stop about 2 inches from the bottom edge. Then snip triangles or shear the seam to reduce bulk in the seam like this. Close the sides of the jacket by folding over and lining up the armpit seams. Sew from the armpit down the jacket and then from the armpit down the sleeve. I finished the edges with a zigzag stitch and a straight stitch down the center of the zigzag stitch. Then hem the bottom of the jacket with a single fold. As well as the bottom of the front linings. Now sew the 2 inches left undone when attaching the front linings to the jacket. With the right side of the lining still facing the right side of the jacket, pin the bottom of the lining to the jacket and sew the lining to the jacket along the bottom and up the 2 inches left undone. Snip the corners to reduce bulk in the seam and turn the lining to the inside of the jacket. Top stitch around the neckline and around the entire edge of the jacket. This will result in the bottom hem being finished with a double hem. Finish the sleeves with a double fold hem. Press the collar and the lining. To add buttons, mark where you want your buttons to go. With my button on the buttonhole foot, I sewed my 2 buttonholes. Carefully cut open the buttonholes. I wasn't strong enough to do it with the seam ripper method, so I had to use scissors. Now mark where the buttons should go and sew on the buttons. Now let's do the skirt. Here's the pieces for the front of the skirt. And the back skirt. Along the fold of the bottom fabric for the skirt, mark 3 inches from the center both ways and mark the center. Now fold the fabric so the 2 outer marks are aligned and pin. Then mark 3 inches from the fold. Then mark 6 inches from that mark and mark the center point in between those 2 marks. Repeat on the opposite side of the fold. Pleat, bringing the 2 outer marks together just like for the first pleat, and pin. Sew the pleats in place, then sew the top half of the front skirt to the pleated half of the skirt right sides facing. Hem the top edge of the bottom skirt with a double fold. Next, line up the zipper along the edge of the skirt and mark where the zipper will end. Pin the front of the skirt to the back of the skirt, right sides facing. Pin from the mark left for the zipper, down that edge, and along the entire edge of the other side. So. I finished the edges where the zipper will be sewn in with a zigzag stitch and a straight stitch. This should have been done before attaching the front and back skirts together. Pin the zipper to the skirt, folding in the raw edge. Sew using the zipper foot. Then go back and finish the two raw edges along the sides of the skirt from the top bottom half of the front of the skirt down to the bottom edge. Now pin the front top skirt lining to the top edge of the skirt, right sides facing, and sew along that top edge. Now turn the lining to the inside of the skirt and pin to the front top half of the skirt, folding in the raw edges and seams. So. I sewed over all my pins slowly to keep the lining in place. Then use the zipper foot to sew the lining in along the zipper edge. To finish the skirt, hem the bottom with a double fold hem. Then press.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can look past my awkward intro and outro. And until next time. Bye! Oh, and by the way, I made this suede overshirt because I wanted to have the complete Clueless look with Cher'S cardigan. and I didn't have a cardigan that matched, so I made this shirt. So if you like it, stay tuned because I'm going to post a tutorial because I feel like it's a nice fall piece. It's trendy. Puff sleeves, and it looks preppy, and it looks really cute with the skirt. So stay tuned for that. Bye.